Happy Monday morning, everyone. This is Robert, and this is my video for Mental Health Monday, the series I do every Monday regarding topics with mental health and mental illness and anything that is on the same type of conversation with that. So, what I am doing today is negative thoughts and the importance of challenging negative thoughts and negative thinking. So I'm going to be very comprehensive on what I talk about, and if there's anything that you feel you can add to this that helps, please do. Again, I'd like to preface what I'm about to talk about with the understanding that I'm not an expert. I don't know everything there is to know about negative thinking. I'm talking in regards to things that I feel are effective with negative thinking to help reduce or even eliminate entirely what has worked for me. Again, I'm not an expert. That's something that I totally eliminated. It's something that is a struggle for me at times because I deal with depression pretty consistently, and negative thinking, negative thoughts goes hand in hand with feeling depressed and dealing with depression, as anyone would know. So I just want to preface that. And I wanted to start on the topic as to what is a negative thought by defining it, shedding light and on negative thought. So what is a negative thought? A negative thought is anything that causes you, any type of thought that you have in your head that causes you to feel bad, reduces your self-esteem, causes you to feel powerless, hurts your feelings. It's something that is usually it's a judge. It has a judgment behind it. Um, Something that could stem from being perfectionistic. Negative thoughts can come from the way people treat you, or losing somebody you care about, or something bad happening in your life that can cause your thoughts that you have in your head to be negative. So, I just wanted to go into that. And what I'd like to talk about is a little bit about how negative thoughts impact your life and yourself, and how internal self. So, one negative thought necessarily isn't going to cause too much damage or disruption or type of bad things to happen in your life. But the way that our mind works, we can have almost, I don't, in like approximately 10 seconds, there could be thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of thoughts that you would experience negatively if it's a negative thought. So in 10 seconds, imagine thousands and thousands of you're an idiot, you're stupid, you're whatever, something very judgmental and negative towards yourself. So when you have that type of abundance coming at you and you're doing that all day in for being up 16 to 17 hours, billions and billions of you're a fucking asshole, you're dumb, you're stupid. That's not going to have, you're not going to be smiling by the end of the day. You're not going to be thinking very well of yourself. You're going to, it's going to alter everything in your life. And eventually, it's like you keep chipping at an oak tree, chipping at the near the trunk. Eventually you're going to get through and crack down the tree, and and that's a metaphor for your self-worth, your self-esteem, how you feel about yourself. So that's just in one day. 17, 18 hours you're up in one day. You don't do anything about that. You let it get out of control. Turns to years. It turns from months to years, and then impatient, going to get extensive help because you don't want to live anymore. You're under attack. So that's essentially how it potentially can impact your life. And that's why people get depressed a lot. That's not the only reason, but that's a huge inspiration for depression. And, you know, so, that's just like a one scenario of many other things. So that's how it impacts your life. But, before I go into the other stuff, I definitely want to know, or want to go into, I think I hear a lot on, because I'm on social media a lot. But I also hear from a lot of people. Everybody is going to war against the negative. We want to like fight, and we want to eliminate the negative, and we want to people not to be negative. We don't want to be around negative people. Um, which I understand, but I think a more effective way of dealing with negativity in life is having a little bit more understanding to why somebody is negative, or why they're having trouble not being negative. People don't tend to do that. They tend to judge and then go to war and be like, this person's just a negative person, and we need not to associate with them. Uh, and I want to use a scenario that I use a lot when I'm talking to people at my job. If I put my thumb on the table, here's my thumb. Let me see it. See my thumb? Okay, that's my thumb. And I'm hammering. And all of a sudden, wham, I hit my thumb very hard with the hammer. I'm not going to be like, oh boy, I just won the lottery. Wow, the girl of my dreams just came in. I'm so happy that I smashed my thumb with the hammer. That's the best thing that's ever happened in my life. No, when you hit and you start feeling that pain, you're negative. It's a natural reaction. You say cocksucker, motherfucker, blah 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 blah. So people who are progressively negative generally are going through depression, but they are experiencing a lot of emotional pain inside. That's where the negative thinking is fueled, from the pain they feel inside from whatever, from a broken heart, from being in an abusive relationship, from somebody that they loved and trusted. They had their trust broken. All these things cause people to think negatively, and I think we need to have a little bit more compassion and understanding. I'm not saying to be taken advantage of. You also have to set boundaries, so toxic people don't impact you. But I think it's not a bad thing to have understanding as to why people are negative, especially yourself. You know, you don't, with the negative thinking that progresses it, the judgments, a lot of judgments happen that make negative thinking worse. So, talking about that. So, I wanted to go into three big reasons why you should challenge negative thoughts. And then I'll talk about a little bit of how, because how is very important. So, why should you challenge negative thoughts? What's the benefit of doing that? Well, the main reason why you should challenge a negative thought is because they're not true. If you really, when you're totally depressed and depression's got you in its grasp and everything like that, it tells you nothing is good. There's no goodness in life. There's nothing worthwhile, nothing living, and that's not true. There's no truth to that. There's good and there's bad. When you're depressed, you don't see the good. You're not able to because you're sick, and and it's warping your head and wants you to believe things. Or the other thing about it, if there is some truth to a negative thought, the majority of that is about 10%, very little. So depression exaggerates things, truth strands, draws at straws. So it's a difference between you, maybe you're overweight, but your depression is telling you you're 1,000 pounds, you're a fat slob, you're disgusting. So maybe, and a lot of times for that type of exaggeration, maybe you're like 5 pounds overweight. It's how warped the negative thoughts are. So you may merit some truth, but a negative thought is an exaggerated untruth. There may be a kernel of truth for the things, but they're never what is going on in your head. So that's one reason why You want to challenge negative thoughts. The second one is very important too. If you don't challenge negative thoughts, there's no way you're going to entertain anything in your head, any type of positive thoughts. You can't think positively when your negative thinking is out of control. Because the minute that I say, hey, I'm pretty attractive to myself, and you haven't challenged those negative thoughts, the inside of yourself's going to be like, yeah, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're whatever. So you need, before you even consider thinking positively, you need to challenge the negative thoughts, because that's the only way that you have a chance of believing the positive. It's important. And the third reason why you should challenge negative thoughts is learning to challenge the negative thoughts is the difference for being depressed for a year, being chronic mental illness, all the problems, year, and as opposed to challenging it, learning how to challenge it, learning how to manage it, and then being depressed for 6 to 7 months. So there's 12 months in a year. Would you prefer to be depressed for 12 months or 7 months, and then 5 months of doing amazing things, having the energy? That's how impactful it is when you challenge it. And this is coming from me, someone who struggled with depression, been at the mercy of depression, lost my job because I didn't challenge things in my life, in my head. I just let them get out of control. Never even thought to, never wanted to, believed everything. And it impacted my life. I lost a wonderful job that I worked very hard to get. I didn't know why, but then now I started seeing. So I'm sharing my personal experience to tell you that it's important. Your life is important. Thinking positive, real, true positives about you that if you're depressed you can't see. It's important that you see them. It's important that you live and you don't be at the mercy of the negative, So how do you do it? As foolish as it sounds, you start, this is what I did, and I had to do this, and it wasn't easy. I went, looked in the mirror, said, Robert, you're a fucking idiot. No, I'm not, Robert. Don't call me an idiot. Yes, you are. No, have an argument, be a 3-year-old with a temper tantrum. Start at it. That's how you challenge. You have to challenge it, and it may be ridiculous, but you know what? I was at the point where I'll be ridiculous. I want my life back. I want to be happy. I want to think good about myself. And, that's what you do. You challenge it, and it's not easy. They're very persistent. They're coming at you a lot. But you do that every day, a little bit longer, you get a little grasp. You start feeling better about yourself. It's very imperative, so that's what I'm going to end for. But, I hope people get a benefit from this video. And if you have anything that you can add or disagree with, you're absolutely. That'll be it. Have a nice rest of the day, and God bless.